fellow Gale community. For the very last time, help me out real quick. When I say go, you are going to say Gales. Go, yeah. Go, yeah. Go. Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations. Being in these seats today represents the hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and unforgettable experiences we have shared over the last few years. Someone that I am especially grateful to have made a close relationship with this year is this year's valedictorian, Evelyn Minaise. Today, I am honored to introduce an obviously outstanding student and human being who is majoring in politics with a minor in communication. I first met Evelyn when we were both parts of a passionate group of students who sought to bring attention to the plight of students in financial distress through our Economic Realities event sophomore year. She worked tirelessly to bring student stories to the limelight through her long-lasting involvement with our newspaper, the Collegian. As the co-editor-in-chief of the Collegian, she has continued to challenge the college to provide opportunities and safety nets for all students. As a sophomore, Evelyn served as co-president of the Middle Eastern Club and founded Arabian Nights, a student-run cultural celebration that continues to meet great success. For the last 2 years, Evelyn has served as a resident advisor for Moore Hall. As I look at all that Evelyn has created, facilitated, and has been a part of, it is clear that the values of social justice and community are at the core of who she is. As she moves from St. Mary's, she will continue her quest for justice by attending Santa Clara Law School this fall, where she will represent the Gale as well. Evelyn, it is my great pleasure to call you my close friend, and I look forward to your success and the difference you will continue to make in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to present to you the class of 2016 valedictorian, Evelyn Minaise.
All right. Thank you for that introduction, Diego, and for touching, moving, and inspiring us these past 4 years. Now I just have to find my spot. Trustees, brothers, President Donahue, faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the St. Mary's College of California class of 2016. Good morning. I am honored and humbled to address you with the most beautiful view I could possibly have in front of me today, despite the rain, that of the class of 2016. It is difficult to decide where to begin, especially as we are marking a day of endings. After all, today is our last day as current students. But today also marks a continuation of a journey started at St. Mary's. What we have learned here does not end here on this field in our black gowns and carefully decorated caps. It is important to remember where that journey began. 4 years ago, many of us entered the campus for the first time after choosing St. Mary's at first-year orientation, entering to learn. For others of us, this could have been a few semesters ago at transfer orientation. Think back to that moment. Perhaps you remember your orientation leader. Perhaps you later became one yourself. You might remember a fellow new student from your group. and that person might be sitting next to you today. I personally remember the St. Mary's Chapel bells. I was in the middle of a housing information session when everyone paused. The person speaking took note. These were the real bells, not the running track we have on every hour. I lost the luxury in that moment of living in the illusion that the hourly bells were real bells. Someone was ringing the bells that day for the success of our rugby team. Now, fast forward. Imagine yourself at the first week of classes. Perhaps it's community time on Wednesday. All around you, people are busy. Club officers and student activists cloud your vision with fluorescent posters and free t-shirts. You smell the first community time barbecue of the year. It's loud and busy, and yet, amid the chaos, you hear the bells. Every hour on the hour, starting at 8 a.m. and ending at 9 p.m., with a special song tone at noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. In fact, you become used to it. On your way to late night to meet your friends for that study snack or procrastination tool, between classes, or as you sprint to make it to the county connection. You might have even learned about it yourself from one of the Christian brothers. And maybe you don't notice the bells. On your way to submit a pack-out request for your residence, the bells ring, and you don't take the time to notice them because you ran into your resident director on the way. No matter what you're doing, no matter the case, those church bells ring. In fact, those church bells have become such an integral part of us as students that they become the minute detail of our experience we can tune out, yet can never forget. Those bells are not too different from what St. Mary's means to us, what St. Mary's has become to us on an individual level. We recognize the church bells in various ways, and we are all Gaels in a variety of forms. The church bells ring on the hour as a constant reminder of that, whether or not we notice them. We become a Gael in that way that creeps up on us and becomes a part of us, that is part of our identity. Every time those bells ring, I think of a new memory I'm running off to make, or an old one that I remember. And we have a lot of those shared memories as a class. We are not a class that forgets about who we are. We are a class of fighters, intentionally minded thinkers. We are a class of firsts and lasts. The fall we entered, we celebrated the college's sesquicentennial year, and are probably the only college students in the nation who can pronounce that word without a problem. We mark the first class under the new core curriculum, which means we all somehow managed to fit in those extra classes and seminar reading reflections into our schedules, and yet graduate in one piece. And like I said earlier, we are marking some endings, including the fact that we are the year that ended a few certain outdoor parties that were once St. Mary's traditions. But all jokes aside, we are also a class that made our own traditions. Regardless of the memory, we learned a lot along the way. We may not have realized it in the same way that we take the bells for granted on a daily basis, but St. Mary's hugely influenced us. We have taken it as a responsibility. How do we act as a Gael? When the bells ring, how have we continued that tone on campus? Throughout our time here, each one of us has shown different versions of what it means to be a Gael. You decided to make this place your community, but also one that you hoped others would want to join. Perhaps you found your community in the production of a cultural night, or through your hands-on work in planning service events through SILSA. Maybe you worked as a tutor for an academic department, or served in weekly masses. You might have led our choir to international victory, or contributed to our rugby team reaching such high acclaim, or played on our basketball team that inevitably got snubbed this year, but epically beat the Zags nonetheless. And you might have also used your influence to share your story, create a safe space, reveal your economic reality, speak about the lives that matter to you and should matter to the world. All of your work, oh man. All of your work, all of our work has been in an effort to better St. Mary's, to prepare it for the greatness we are and the greatness we know the college deserves. I'm going to speed it up. All right. We leave to serve in a way that keeps our legacy alive. That same legacy that St. John Baptiste de La Salle used as a foundation for this education. We must remember what Brother Dom told us as first-year students. We have a privilege with an undergraduate degree, a privilege that a very small amount of people in this world share. It is now our responsibility to be Gaels yet again when we leave here today, as the bells keep ringing and continue to improve the world where we see fit. This can take any form, be it as you continue your education, enter the workforce, join the armed forces, and everything in between. But for now, today is a day of celebration, celebrating with ourselves, with the faculty and staff that got us here, with the family and friends who are present here today and who are thinking of us. In the words of Kenyan environmentalist and political justice activist Wangari Maathai, we must celebrate the little victories, no matter how small. While this graduation is a day of celebration of a huge achievement, it also commemorates many little victories that each of us has achieved, leading us to this day. And when we leave to serve, the church bells still ring, but we don't need to be present on campus to recognize the bells. After all, we are Gaels for life. Thank you once again for this great honor. I'm sorry I had to cut it short. But most importantly, go Gaels.